Hi, it's day 6 of our 21 Days of Mindful Living Challenge. I'm your host, Nzinga Oniwoso, and this challenge is brought to you by 365 Sing, a multifaceted app that's designed to help you be well by centralizing features found in different apps in one place. And we also provide culturally sensitive and aligned wellness practices. So here we are. It's day 6, and today's pose is upward facing dog. I often like to tell my students to think of upward facing dog as a level up on your um, cobra pose, full cobra. So the difference between upward facing dog and cobra is that we're pressing into our feet. The legs and thighs are lifted off the mat, and the slight bend that we have in that full cobra is now removed because we're really engaging and locking out those arms. If you are double jointed like myself, you may still want to have a slight bend only because that we have the propensity to bend out too forward. So that's just a quick note for my double jointed people who are following along. So let me show you what it would look like, and then we're going to go into a flow. So you would lie on your belly and your feet are going to be apart. So toes about hip distance apart. And then you're going to bring your hands to frame your ribs. Again, think grasshopper legs, all right? And you start to press into the mat with your toes and feet. You roll off and you start to push up and lifting your legs off the mat. So you're rolling the shoulders down and back and drawing the chest through. All right, and you're expanding the chest. And as you're pressing into the hands and pressing into the feet. If you feel tension, loosen up that butt. 'Cause sometimes we have the propensity to squeeze our butt. You want to keep that butt nice and loose. And then you come all the way down. So you'd hold there for 5. If you're doing upward facing dog in isolation from any other poses. Again, you come from your belly, you press up and you lift off. We are getting ready to transition our practice into sun salutations. And I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of the poses that we have this week are found in our sun salutations. And the reason why is oftentimes when people do yoga challenges, they will go straight into the pose. I was guilty of it. And you need to warm up your body for a lot of these poses, and you can't just uh, push yourself right into it because it can lead to injury. And I can definitely speak of some injuries I had because I was trying to quickly take a shot for the gram, didn't warm up, and then had to pay the consequences later. So today and tomorrow, we're going to be moving through sun salutations so that for the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to transition into the practice from the sun salutations. You're going to warm up and then you're going to go into the poses. Okay? And this is also building out your yoga practice if you haven't noticed already. So we're always going to start in our day 1 pose as child's pose, Balasana. Toes touch, knees apart, dropping the hands forward and letting the forehead touch the ground, letting the forearms relax. We're just going to keep this nice and soft today, not going into an active version of child's pose, and start to connect to your breath. With every inhale and exhale, allow yourself to become more relaxed, allowing the spaces that are holding tension to become more soft with every exhale. And slowly start to bring your Arms folded, elbows are still touching the ground, palms touch. This is a nice stretch on the back part of the upper arm for some of us. And just breathe. In this moment, I want you to take this time to set an intention for today's practice, finding a phrase or a word that reminds you of where you're going or what you're trying to maintain or who you are. So set your intention. First one, best one. Don't overthink it. As you move through this practice and you feel yourself wandering in your thoughts, feeling overwhelmed, starting to go back to that things to do list, use this intention to draw you back to the practice. Use it as your point of focus. Exhale, plant the hands down, coming into tabletop. Okay, we're going to dial the hands back, making some soft circles with the wrists. And then we're going to take that in the opposite direction. Bringing the palms up, fingers towards each other, make a fist, and then let it go. Make a fist, and let it go. All right? Bring the palms back down. We're warming up our wrists because with our Sun Sals, we start to do more weight bearing in our hands. So we just want to make sure that our hands and wrists are going to be okay. Bring your knees and feet to touch, tuck in those toes, walk the hands back. Just doing a slight stretch in the feet, interlace the fingers. This may be uncomfortable, and if it is, you might not want to sit all the way back on the heels. And so we're just doing a figure 8 with the hands, interlacing the fingers, and then take it in the opposite direction. And then slowly release, placing your palms back onto the ground, tops of the feet back on the mat. Let's do a few cat-cows, round and curled. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to a neutral spine. Tuck the toes under. Lift the knees off the mat. And then push the thighs up towards the upper body. Dropping the heels towards the mat. Pedal the feet back and forth. Slowly walk the feet towards the hands. Inhale, half full. Exhale. Grab the opposite elbows and gently rock side to side. And your next inhale, roll up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we're going to use Sun Salutations for us to navigate through some of our poses. And we're going to start off with Sun Salutations C, our classical. Toes touch, heels together, drawing your shoulders down and back. Arms are next to the bodies, nice, strong, engaged legs, looking forward. Inhale, arms come up, palms touch above the head. Look towards the thumbs, slight backwards bend. Exhale, fold, hinging at the hips, planting the hands onto the ground or coming onto the tips of the fingers or blocks. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, plant the hands down, release the left leg and then the right leg down onto the ground. So we're just going to have to modify here because we didn't do what we're supposed to do. Bend the elbows down, coming all the way down. Inhale, cobra. All right, so modifying. going into C eventually. Exhale, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up. In the meantime, we're going to do a modified version of the A. Chin to chest. Hold for 5. Inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, bring that right leg through. Drop that left heel down. Inhale, palms touch, warrior 1, and hold. Exhale, plant the hands down onto the ground. Tuck the left toe under. Bring that right leg to meet the left. Hold that plank, and then drop the knees down. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, back to cobra pose. Maybe you wiggle from your hips side to side. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up. Downward facing dog. All right. Left side Virabhadrasana. Bring that left foot through. If you have to pick it up. Drop the right heel down. Sit down. 90-degree angle on that front leg. Keep it there. Palms reach up. Touch. Look towards those thumbs. Hold. Exhale, frame the foot with both hands, drop the right knee down, top of the foot comes onto the mat, bring the left foot to meet the right, push forward, keeping the knees on the ground, and just bend the elbows to bring you all the way down. The elbows stay close to the body. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up. Now we're in our down dog. Holding here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look forward, walk the feet towards the top of the mat. It may take more than one big step like I took, and that is perfectly okay. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Dropping the belly and head towards the legs. Inhale, reverse swan dive. So you spread our arms out like wings and lift them all the way up. Palms touch above the head. Exhale, the hands down to the sides of the body. Okay, so we were able to get our warriors in, and now we're going to do Sun Salutation A, because we already did our warriors, so we're perfectly fine. Inhale, the hands up, no back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. So you want to think about this part of your upper body being parallel with the ground. So you may bring your hands onto the shins, might even place them on some blocks. Exhale, bend the knees, ground the hands, step back into your high plank. Now you have the option to drop the knees back down, or if you want to play with it from this high plank, all you're going to do is draw your elbows back and then bend them. And you bend until you come all the way down, or you hold, tops of the feet come onto the mat. Now we're going into our upward facing dog. So maybe you start off in your cobra, drawing the chest through, pulling the shoulders down and back. Might even have to stack the hands back a little bit more so that they're stacked underneath the shoulders. Now press into the feet, lifting up, upward facing dog, right? Soften your buttocks in this pose so that it doesn't lean towards you, dumping more of the bend in your lower back. Tuck the toes under. Downward facing dog. And breathe. Two more breaths. Slowly walk the feet towards the mat, towards your hands, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms swing up, palms touch above the head. Exhale, the hands down. So we're going to do a second set of Sun Salutation. If you're feeling a little tired, that comes with this type of practice. So be kind and gentle to yourself. And if you have to pull back, pull back. And then as we move through this practice, You'll build up the stamina, you'll build up the strength and the flexibility. Okay, so again, mountain pose, toes touch, heels slightly apart, shoulders pressed down, arms nice and strong next to your body. Tuck in the pelvis if you feel your pelvis is rotating back, or just find a place where your pelvis can be in a neutral position. Some people, their pelvis is here, others like myself might be here, so we just want to tuck it in so that we can have one nice long spine. Looking forward, inhale, palms touch. Exhale, fold, hinging from the hips. Inhale, half forward fold. Maybe you come on the tips of the fingers. Again, always the shin is the option. Bend the knees, plant those hands down. Step back with the right leg, step back with the left leg. We're going to ride this exhale down. Drop your knees down if you need. Bend those elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Tops of the feet come down. Press into the hands. Roll the shoulders down and back. Pull the chest through. Broaden that shoulder space. All right, tuck the toes under. Exhale. Downward facing dog. We're holding here for 5 breaths. Again, if this is a lot, your wrists are not used to holding all of this weight, drop down into child's pose, breathe, and then come back in. We're here for 3 more breaths. Inhale, look forward, step forward with both hands, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, palms touch above the head. Exhale the hands down to your heart center. Take this moment to go back to your intention. Slowing down your breath. Noticing the sensations in your body. Then release your hands. Soften your knees and swing side to side. And you have the option to do your final Shavasana. If you're going to final Shavasana, extend the legs out, roll all the way down, and take rest. If it doesn't feel good in your body to be in that reclined position, find an option that makes sense for you. It might be on your belly or in a fetal position. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining me for day 6 of our Mindful Living Challenge. Don't forget to check out our writing journal prompt for today, and I'll see you again. Ciao.